Hello, welcome to our Positivity Media for more history and documentaries. Today we are going to talk about the history of one of the ancient tribe in Africa called San, also known as Bushmen. When we speak about the ancient roots of humanity, few communities connect us to our earliest beginnings like the Bushmen, also known as the San people. They are widely regarded as one of the oldest continuous populations on Earth, with a history stretching back tens of thousands of years. The San have lived primarily in the vast and often harsh landscapes of southern Africa, especially in present-day Botswana, Namibia, South Africa, and parts of Angola and Zimbabwe, often misunderstood. Romanticized, or marginalized, the Bushmen are not merely a primitive tribe surviving in isolation, they are a sophisticated society with a deep spiritual worldview, complex language systems, advanced ecological knowledge, and a resilient history shaped by survival, displacement, and adaptation, one of the oldest human lineages. Genetic studies have shown that the San people carry some of the oldest genetic lineages among modern humans. Anthropologists believe their ancestors were among the earliest Homo sapiens populations to inhabit southern Africa, possibly over 100,000 years ago, for thousands of years, before kingdoms rose and empires formed elsewhere in the world. The ancestors of the San were already thriving in the African wilderness. They lived as hunter-gatherers, mastering survival in diverse ecosystems, from dry savannas to semi-desert regions. The Kalahari homeland, the region most associated with the Bushmen, is the Kalahari Desert. Contrary to popular belief, the Kalahari is not a barren wasteland. It is a semi-arid savanna rich in seasonal life, hidden water sources, and edible plants. The San developed intimate knowledge of this land, how to find underground water in dry riverbeds, which roots store moisture, which insects are edible, how to track animals across sand by reading the faintest footprints. This environmental mastery allowed them to survive in conditions where others would perish. Traditional lifestyle, hunters, gatherers, and trackers, hunting techniques. The San are renowned as some of the greatest trackers in the world. Their hunting techniques were based not on brute force, but patience, strategy, and understanding of animal behavior. They used lightweight bows, poison-tipped arrows, often derived from beetle larvae toxins, cooperative hunting strategies. A hunter might track an antelope for hours, sometimes days, until the poison weakened the animal. Tracking was not just a skill, it was an art form passed from generation to generation. Gathering and plant knowledge, women played a vital role in gathering edible plants, fruits, nuts, and roots. In fact, gathered foods often made up the majority of daily nutrition. The San possessed deep botanical knowledge, medicinal plant understanding, seasonal harvesting wisdom. Their society was not built on hierarchy or wealth accumulation, but on sharing. Meat from a successful hunt was distributed among the group, reinforcing social bonds. Social structure and community life. Egalitarian society. Unlike many societies structured around chiefs or rigid authority, traditional San communities were largely egalitarian. Decisions were often made collectively. Leadership existed, but it was based on wisdom, experience, persuasion rather than force. There were no kings, no centralized political systems, and no social classes in the traditional sense. Family and mobility. The San lived in small bands, typically consisting of 20 to 40 individuals. These groups were flexible. People could move between bands through marriage or kinship ties. Mobility was essential. Camps were temporary. Structures were simple windbreaks made from branches and grass. Movement followed seasonal food availability. Their lifestyle minimized environmental impact, demonstrating sustainable living long before modern ecological movements. Language. The click sounds of the San. One of the most fascinating aspects of San culture is their language. San languages belong to what linguists classify as Khoisan language families, characterized by distinctive click consonants. These clicks are produced using the tongue against different parts of the mouth. Different San groups speak different languages, such as Kung, Ju, Hon, Komani. These languages are incredibly complex, with rich vocabularies describing nature, animals, and relationships. Sadly, many of these languages are endangered due to modernization and displacement. Spiritual beliefs and trance dance. The spirit world. The San worldview is deeply spiritual. They believe in a powerful creator figure and numerous spiritual forces connected to nature. Animals, especially the eland antelope, hold sacred significance. The trance dance, one of the most powerful rituals in San culture, is the trance healing dance. During these ceremonies, community members gather around a fire, women clap rhythmically, men dance intensely until entering a trance state. In trance, healers are believed to access spiritual energy called N/, which allows them to heal sickness, drive away harmful spirits, and restore balance. This spiritual practice is among the oldest continuously practiced religious traditions in the world. Rock art, messages from the ancestors, throughout southern Africa, especially in South Africa and Namibia. Ancient San rock paintings can be found in caves and rock shelters. These artworks depict animals like eland, giraffe, and elephants, illustrate hunting scenes, portray trance dances and spiritual transformations. The rock art is not merely decorative, it is spiritual storytelling, symbolic communication between the physical and spirit worlds. Some paintings are thousands of years old and remain one of Africa's greatest archaeological treasures. Colonial displacement and struggle, conflict with settlers. Beginning in the 17th century, European settlers arrived in southern Africa. Expansion of farming communities and cattle ranching led to loss of hunting territories, violent conflict, forced displacement. The San were often labeled as primitive or wild, leading to persecution and marginalization. Modern challenges. In the 20th century, governments established wildlife reserves and national parks, sometimes removing San communities from ancestral lands. Ironically, in the name of conservation, in Botswana, disputes over land rights in the central Kalahari have been particularly significant. The San have fought legal battles for recognition of their land and cultural rights. The Bushmen today, San communities live in varying conditions. Some continue semi-traditional lifestyles, others live in settlements with limited resources. Many struggle with poverty and limited political representation. However, there are also revival movements, cultural preservation programs, language documentation projects, ecotourism initiatives led by San communities. Modern San activists are working to reclaim identity, dignity, and historical recognition. Conclusion: a living link to humanity's past. The Bushmen are not relics of history, they are living descendants of humanity's earliest chapters. Their story is one of deep ecological intelligence, spiritual richness, social equality, survival against overwhelming odds. In a world facing environmental crisis and social division, the San offer profound lessons: live lightly on the land, share rather than hoard, respect nature as sacred, value community over power. Their history is not just African history, it is human history, and as long as their songs echo across the Kalahari winds, the voice of our ancient past continues to speak. This marks the end of my narration. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comments and share. Stay with us for more and more histories and documentaries. See you in the next video.